The 32-year-old man that was held captive by his father and his stepmother at that home in Connecticut, of course, still being unidentified. Now remember, to refresh your memory, he was found after setting a fire by using hand sanitizer and copy machine paper. He was rescued by firefighters, and the ugly secret of what was happening to him for over 20 years would come to surface. Now, if you remember, he was locked in a room, fed not very much food. He was 5'9", weighing 68 pounds. They had pulled him out of high school, meaning his father and his stepmother. They had pulled him out of high school when he was in the 4th grade. And for some reason, just locked him inside a bedroom with a padded lock on the outside the door, so he could not even get out. They would let him out between 15 minutes to 2 hours only for him to complete chores inside the home. And that was pretty much his life. He had no life. He was stuck in that bedroom from the time he was about 11 to he finally decided to set that fire on February 17th. And he was 32 years old by then. Now, his father died January 2024. So for another year, 11 months, his stepmother continued the abuse because his father had passed away. His father had been confined to a wheelchair for a certain amount of time and ultimately passed away, and she continued the abuse. She actually said that this is the way his father wanted his life to be dictated. Those were the words that she used. I did the video of it before this video here. And right now, I had asked, where was the biological mother? We talked about how the Department of Family and Children's Services had came to the house twice looking for him, and that was it. They got no answer, so they didn't even think to even look for him anymore. So supposedly, people had came and talked to school officials and found out that, he was pulled out, and they just remember he was always at school hungry. So something was going on where the father and his wife decided to just pull this child out of school. Now, they're not saying why. I think it was something else going on. I think it was something deviant going on there. I do. There was a reason. I know you can just abuse a child just to abuse a child, but he was a child turned into a young man, and this was still going on. So I do believe it was some type of deviant abuse there, and I'm just going to wait around for it to come to surface, and it may not. He already lived a horrible life in there, so I hope it wasn't for them. So again, I question, where was his mother and what happened to her? How did she not know this was going on? How did she not look for her child? Well, it turns out that she'd given up her child, which is, the boy turned man, when he was a child. But she said when he turned, 18, she started to look for him. Now, she has a daughter. I'm believing it could be by another man, not this man that died last year, but she has a daughter, and they would look on social media. They would try to find him. Ancestry.com. They did everything. Records, public court records, just to see if they could find him. They used his name, and it just couldn't find anything. It's like he didn't exist, but they didn't know he was being confined and locked in a room. So the sister called the mom and said, we found him. And she found out the horrific things that was going on with her son. She said she wants Kimberly Sullivan to rot in hell and spend her life in solitary confinement and fed 2 cups of water a day. And her son was probably treated a lot worse than the way they're going to treat Kimberly Sullivan while she's being incarcerated. Now, Kimberly Sullivan's attorney believes in her innocence, but we know that's what he gets paid to do, besides the fact that he looks 14 years old. He believes in her and feels that he's going to have her exonerated from all these charges. I doubt very seriously the way this young man, the description of this young man, 5'9", 68 pounds, no dental, no medical. He hygiene. He probably wasn't getting haircuts. He probably looks awful. He probably looked awful. When they rescued him, they knew something was going on. They really did. And, the biological mother says she's heartbroken. Again, after finding out that her son had been living in these type of conditions. And she said that she loves him and she's proud of him and that he was so strong for doing what he needed to do. She only wished that he did it sooner. So yeah, I will definitely be following this story to see what else this woman has to say. And I'm sure other things will come to play. But I am glad that he is out. Hopefully he is getting, physical, mental, emotional. He's going to need so much treatment in his favor. And I do wish the best for him.